Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dee and this is the Optimistic Network. Today I'm doing some Jamaican steam fish in broth, or some may say soup, but whatever you call it, it is as tasty as it can be. I hope you guys will try this recipe. It was a big enough fish, so I cut it in two and split the head in two to get three pieces. And I just season it up. And guys, please know the stove is off. The stove is not on. I just season it on the stove to save time and easy clean up. I'm just putting all my mustache salt free seasonings on there because I only use salt free seasoning, and then I add a little Creole seasoning as a salt. So I don't use other salts. So remember, if you're making this and you're using seasoning that has salt, which is okay, go easy on the Creole seasoning or go easy on those seasoning, because that Creole seasoning is very flavorful, but it's salty. So I'm just sprinkling on my seasoning. As you can see, I use all the mustache, but like I said, use what you like. I like to use a lot of seasoning on my stuffs because I'm an island girl and I love flavor in my food. I love when my food is a little spicy, so I add my crushed pepper. You'll also notice me adding some jalapenos for a little more kick. And everything else that you see, and I'll tell you as we go along. These are some pimento seed. I got them from Jamaica, but peppercorn seed will do, or just totally skip the seed. They just have a kick of spice to them that's very flavorful that I really love. Guys, this is acorn squash, but I would rather use pumpkin. So if you're Jamaican and you have access to pumpkin, or you have access to Caribbean pumpkin, whether you're Jamaican or not, that is what you want to use. I only have access to acorn squash. That's the closest to pumpkin, and I find that it give it a real good taste of pumpkin. Also, it give it that yellow color that the pumpkin would give it. So pumpkin will do for that. Hey, it's corn season and I love corn. So I just cut up one whole corn in small pieces and I added it to it. I want to mention that I put the fish in the bottom because my pot is non-stick, or sometimes I just put the fish on top or in the middle. So you don't have to put the fish at the bottom. What you can actually do is put all those food, the corn and the harder food, to the bottom, then put the fish in the middle and put your seasoning on it. That is some Maggi chicken noodle. And if you don't know about Maggi chicken noodle soup, get into it. If you're a Caribbean person, you will, but use any chicken noodle soup that you have. And I used a half pack of that noodle. Remember, the noodle has salt, and remember to shake up the noodle before you start pouring, because there's noodle and there's a seasoning in it. So you want to incorporate everything, a little of the seasoning and a little of the noodle. And guys, I did flash you that okra, but I did not put the okra in as yet. If you notice, I said no. I just took my okra out the freezer because I buy the packet of cut okra, and I took it out the freezer because otherwise I will forget it. So I just sat it on the counter. But you don't want to add your okra until the last 2 to 5 minutes because they cook quick and you don't want them mashing out. So you saw me added some carrots, and then I'm adding 2.5 cups of water, and I'm just covering it down. I used enough water to cover the food, but you can use the amount of water that you want depending on the amount of soup you want and the amount of fish that you're making. So usually I add some butter to this, but I did not have any butter in my fridge, so I added a little olive oil. So it's okay to add whatever oil you use or a little butter. Butter is always my choice, but because I didn't have butter, I just dropped a little olive oil. And you don't want a lot because this is a low fat, healthy meal, and you don't want to spoil it by adding a lot of grease. So just a little oil for moistness. I cover, turn my stove on to high, and this cooked for approximately 38 minutes, covered on high. So this is 15 minutes into it cooking. I open the pot to see, and you're noticing me twirling. I'm twirling so the things don't stick in the bottom, even though it's a non-stick pot. So I twirl instead of stir because you don't want to stir this food. You don't want your fish breaking up. So that was 15 minutes into it cooking. It looked so good, but I knew the food wasn't ready. The potato wasn't cooked, and I like my corn cooked properly. And I must mention this, if you're from the Caribbean, I find that our corn back home is different and they take a little longer to cook. So if you're from the Caribbean, what you can do is add your water and pre-boil your corn. I am adding the okra now, so because it's 3 to 5 minutes before I turn it off. So I added my okra and I kind of just spread them out a little. But I was saying about the corn. Remember, you can put on some water and boil your corn first, and then you add everything else and put the fish on top and add the seasoning. There are a lot of different ways to do this. I don't always do it this one way, to be honest with you. Sometimes I put the fish on top, or sometimes I put the fish in the middle. But I don't know why I just felt like putting the fish down at the bottom today. It was just a lazy move, but this way works. Or you can put the fish on top or in the middle. Just know that you can tweak whatever I do to your likings. And I just added a little more Creole seasoning because I tasted it and it wanted a little touch of salt. So like I said, I don't use salt, I just use the Creole season. So I added a little Creole season and it was bomb 5 minutes later. So I'm just serving this up in a cute white bowl. And guys, this was so tasty. This is wonderfully made. I wish you guys could taste it, and I hope you guys will decide to give this a try. It's not hard, it's easy. So thank you guys for watching. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in my next video.